We issue a buy recommendation of Deskimir. Target price should be 130 rubles with implied 30% upside. Deskimir is the biggest retailer in the children's goods industry. The brand of Deskimir was founded in Soviet Union and is the most recognizable brand on the Russian market. This allows company to provide effective marketing strategy with a low cost of customers acquisition. The biggest shareholder is the AFK system. Deskimir operates on 5 different segments: toys, newborns, shoes and apparel, stationery and furniture. The business is well diversified, that means revenue doesn't depend on the one product. The key factor is well-differentiated product portfolio in terms of SKU. In addition, Deskimir provides a new concept of stores to increase like-for-like dynamics. The company provides aggressive expansion. In last 8 years, the number of stores increased almost in 5 times, selling space increased in 3 times. Deskimir stores can be found in all Russian regions except East. In addition, year to year, the company raised its presence in Kazakhstan. One of main targets for Deskimir in the nearest future is expansion to underpopulated cities. Deskimir has omni-channel model. They provide differently sized stores depending on location. What is more, company works hardly on its digital segment. Main strengths of the company are their old recognizable brand and strong competitive position in the market. As weaknesses, high dependence on demographic situation and seasonality of revenue have the most impact. Promotion of online store and expansion to foreign market can make positive effect on revenue. However, big international retailers like Amazon can damage Deskimir hardly with their appearance.
Russian children's good market has been growing steadily with average 7% growth rate since 2014. More and more foreign players begin to enter the Russian market of children's goods. For example, Disney opened the first store in Moscow. Hamleys continues their expansion. Russian children's goods market as a typical market truly depends on the size of its target audience. We mean children between 0 and 12 years old. Russian statistics services don't see any kind of good-looking demography in the nearest years. Market share of Deskimir on retail market has grown from 10 to 17% in the last 3 years. Market share in the children goods segment stores increased by more than 12%. As we already know, Deskimir has a large variety of goods available, but other retailers in the medium price segment also sell all the categories of children's goods. Even though Korablik has more stores in Moscow, Deskimir is much better represented in the regions. More stores in total are owned only by Begemotic, but they operate in low price category. Russian children's good market is attractive both for mature foreign competitors and for new local companies. Digitalization can also become a serious threat for the industry. But by the moment, Deskimir is the leader of the digital segment with 6.8%. Korablik is second with 6%. Russian customers are strongly sensitive to the product quality and the price level.
One of the key drivers of revenue is the extensive growth in the number of stores with selling space. Moreover, ramp-up will affect too. The next driver is the like-for-like in number of tickets, which depends on the demography. The average check will change with inflation and pricing policy. Historically, Deskimir had high year-to-year sales growth rate at the average level of 30%. In the next 5 years, we expect to decrease to the level of 5% according to the dynamics. Historically, gross margin was at the level of 38%, but then sales shifted to newborn goods with lower margin. In addition, Deskimir equalized prices in stores and internet. We expect a stabilization of gross margin at the level of 35% in the future. Falling of margins in the last 3 years explained with one-time increase in rent and labor costs. In the nearest future, we expect a stable dynamic of margins at a higher level. Deskimir aims to opening of small-scale stores and development a digital channel, which will help to decrease rental costs. Moreover, management successfully reduced staff costs while maintaining sales efficiency. In the next 5 years, we expect EBITDA margin at the level of 20% and net profit margin at the level of 6%. The company's policy in terms of inventory management will improve the efficiency of use of current assets. Moreover, the company is focused on leasing fixed assets rather than their ownership. This strongly affects the fixed asset turnover, which decreases with depreciation of fixed assets. Детский Мир demonstrates high operating efficiency observed in cash conversion cycle. Days of receivables outstanding are very low, near 14 days. Inventories on hand accounts almost a half of a year. On the other side, company has days of payables outstanding higher than operating cycle. This means that Детский Мир uses working capital in the best way, keeping available cash for other activities.
To estimate the value of share, we used 3 methodologies: DCF analysis, relative valuation, and dividend discount model. DCF model is the most suitable approach due to availability of historical data to make a reasonable forecast. Moreover, Детский Мир has strong cash flow potential and high cash conversion ratio. Relative valuation has the same weight as DCF model. This related to the fact that DM is trading at discount comparing with foreign peers, denoting the potential room for growth. DDM has 10% weight because there is not enough historical data to assess dividend payout ratio. From the other side, historical dividend payout ratio is very high, and that's the reason for the inclusion of methodology in our valuation. We also applied scenario analysis to all 3 methodologies. Scenarios are divided into 2 categories, 3 possible outcomes in each group, 9 in total. First one, microenvironment. This group includes such parameters as inflation, GDP growth, K rate, and demography. The second one, expansion scenarios. There we forecast such parameters as number of stores and selling space. Let's move to the DCF model. Looking at forecast of free cash flow to firm, we can notice that cash flow from operations is stabilized. CapEx remains stable at levels sufficient to finance expansion. There are no considerable changes in interest expenses in the forecast period. Back calculations were based mostly on Bloomberg data. It's worth to note that effective tax rate was taken from 2016. Terminal value constitutes only 45% of present value of all cash flows due to 10-year forecasted period. The lowest bound of DCF model is 92 rubles. The upper bound 192 rubles. The highest deviation in scenario analysis is observed exactly in DCF model, because all parameters in scenarios affects cash flow from operations. The next step, relative valuation. There is no ideal peer for comparing purposes. This fact encouraged us to use wide list of possible peer companies. Price of Детский Мир significantly dropped by 20% from the annual high, first of all due to negative news background. Results of relative valuation are not sensitive to scenario changes. The point estimate of price according to base scenario 130 rubles. Discount dividend model provides the lowest estimate of price. We believe that Детский Мир management team will not be able to support high levels of dividend payout ratio in long-term period. The point estimate 82 rubles. The final step, sum of the parts of all approaches. We have got target price equal to 130 rubles with an upside almost 31%.
Детский Мир is affected by different types of risks. The strongest two in terms of impact are demographic risk and disruption risk. The solution for demographic problems is expansion to different countries with growing birth rates, and for disrupting is fast promotion in internet. All that risks and different scenarios affects the final results of company, and with 3 different scenarios for net profit.
And the last point of our presentation. Our buy recommendation derived from next merits: leading position in the market, expansion to new regions, consolidation of the market, stable growth of the internet segment, operating efficiency, and large assortment and recognizable brand.
Thank you for your attention.